Boy, weather warms up. Get back to Wrigley. Cubs find a way to win. They beat the Reds tonight at the Confines. He is David DeJesus. I'm David Kaplan. Boy, the wind was blowing out, howling. I was out there earlier. The weather warms up, and the bats came alive.
It was like a midsummer day out there. It looked like balls are just traveling out of the yard, and Lackey kept us in the game, but the offense stepped up, and the Cubs needed this game today to get rolling in the right direction.
Yeah, they needed to come home and get a couple of home runs and get everybody excited. All right, we'll take you through the highlights. You'll hear from Joe Madden. There's a whole lot to do. Cubs beat the Reds. We'll tell you all about it coming up on our Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live.
Okay, got it. Rumor confirmed. They're playing.
What?
We gotta go.
Where?
San Francisco.
When?
Friday.
We gotta go.
Any airline, any hotel, anytime. Go where you want, when you want, with no blackout dates. The Travel Rewards credit card from Bank of America. It's travel better connected.
The blades of a combat chopper spin at 380 RPMs. Not even close to an Echo trimmer. Now that's shock and awe. Power on and on.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, thousands of barrels lay silent. But that doesn't mean they lay idle. In fact, inside each and every Jim Beam barrel, the bourbon is aging, building a fuller, smoother flavor that only comes from being aged 4 long years. At Jim Beam, our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Well, I love it. This piece is so you.
I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
Is it suede?
Suede, love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you.
I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it.
Is it suede?
It's suede.
I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Where's my cooler? My sandwich is in there. Oh, boy. Nice try, pal.
That feeling, only better. Confidence, thanks to a reinforced safety cage. Standard in the 5-star overall safety rated Volkswagen Passat.
Hurry in and lease this 2017 Passat S for just $189 a month, plus a $750 Memorial Day bonus.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Toyota. The Toyota Time Sales Event ends May 31st. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places. And by State Farm, here to help life go right. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Investigator baseball. Hello, Kyle Schwarber. Way out of here. 4-2. Almost left the ballpark.
Well, he did that in batting practice, way out on the street, and he carried it over to the ballgame. Good night for Schwarber. Cubs 9-13-1, just a little bit better. 5-10-0. Cubs beat the Reds. They're both 19-19. It's Lackey 4-3 over 40-year-old Bronson Arroyo, who falls to 3-3. Hello, welcome in to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. He's David DeJesus, the ex-Cub. I'm David Kaplan. Cubs find a way to get a much-needed W. Let's talk about Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff role, because Joe Madden was asked before the game. He said he's staying there. Theo Epstein said, if you want to sell your stock right now in Kyle Schwarber, we're buying all we can get our hands on. He had a big night.
If I'm Kyle Schwarber, I'm sitting there like, these guys have my back. All right, now I'm going to go out there and prove it. And today was that first step in the right direction. Get on top of fastball, drive it out of the yard. Then later in the game, go with the pitch, shoot it the other way. Staying up the middle of the field, that's going to be his key to success up here.
That was a thing. You and I watched 98% of this game together, and you said, I want to see guys going the other way. And we saw a number of guys going the other way.
And driving the ball as well. These guys are big, powerful players, man. If they can just stay inside the ball and let the ball travel and hit the inside of the ball, they're going to have a lot of success, especially now it's warming up, wind's blowing out. Got to take advantage of these times.
Yeah, you got it tonight. Time for our Gerber Collision and Glass play of the game. Bottom second, Kyle Schwarber breaks out of the slump in a big way. Monster jack to right. Up, out, third of the year. Cubs up 4-2, 462 feet. It's the longest of his career, longest home run by a Cub this season.
Doesn't that look like a BP pitch? Like one of those just right down the middle. And
right there.
Right there. Perfect.
You hang
Perfect
it,
swing.
and I'm going to bang it. By the way, 6th home run of the season for him. Correction, 6th home run. Exit velocity north of 107 miles an hour. You get all the StatCast numbers. That ball was murdered.
That ball's hit hard. And hopefully this is that turnaround point in his season where he can take those swings, deposit it in his brain, and bring them tomorrow. And keep adding on. Keep adding on.
All right. Bottom of the 5th. Cubs have brought up a young man by the name of Ian Happ from the University of Cincinnati, ironically. He goes the opposite way and into the left field bleachers. That's his second big league home run. It's a 5-3 Cubs lead. He becomes first Cub to homer in both his first game at home and on the road since Carmelo Martinez did it way back when David was playing in 1983.
Oh, wow. Carmelo. But, hey, that's hitting right there. And knowing that the wind's blowing out, all he wanted to do was stay on it, stay through it. And, man, that thing kept going.
All right, let's go through that pitch by pitch in the at-bat.
Yeah.
Because you and I watched him get a walk-in-one in the 6th inning. He just did a really nice job.
All right, so that one, okay, was what was that? 0-0.
Yep.
Swung through it, took it 1-1. All right, he got to 1-1, took that pitch. 2-1. That's the pitch right there that you know he's locked in because you're focusing on the ball out over the plate, and that's a great pitch by the pitcher. He takes it, and he's like, you can see in him that he's not the situation is not too big for him. He's calmed down, he's locked in, and he knows what he's going to attack.
Yeah, when that pitch, just before they threw it, it was a 2-1 pitch, and I said, hitters count, chance to drive something, bases loaded, everyone's standing, Wrigley's rocking, and when he took that pitch, you said, that is a prepared hitter.
Yeah, that kid, there's something special about that because in that situation, the youngster, they want to knock that run in. They want to be that big, yes, okay, I broke the game open in that situation. But he was calm. He lets the game come to him. He walked twice today in 2 tough situations. Early in the game, he did the same thing. So he's just advanced for his years, and he's looking really good right now.
Yeah, he's a guy going to be tough to send him back down. 7th inning, Addison Russell. You turned to me and said, Addie's been struggling. Struggle no more. Struggle this. He goes oppo. That ball gets out. And again, the win was a huge help to both clubs tonight, but that was something he needed.
He needs to work that way. It seemed early in the game he's trying to pull, swinging at the first pitch, trying to do too much. On that one, he let it come to him, and he exploded on the ball and let it hit it where it was pitched.
Yep, got it up in the jet stream, and it got out. 8th inning, Anthony Rizzo. He's been struggling. Anthony Rizzo, up and out, line rocket. Careful out there in the bleachers. That ball had some exit velocity in addition to being a home run.
I mean, those are quick hands. That's Anthony Rizzo of 2016 right there. Quick hands, short to the ball. And if you're a fan, you see that ball coming in, you're ducking. You're getting out of the way because that ball was hit on the money.
Yeah, that ball was hit hard. Let's look at the Cubs offense versus the Cincinnati Reds the last 2 seasons. 18-5, 7.61 runs per game, .284 batting average, 53 bombs, a .377 OBP, and a slug of .531. I mean, that gives you north of a 900 OPS. Pretty good.
Wow. It's the perfect team to come in from a tough road trip. These are the guys they wanted to see, and they took advantage of them today.
And they took advantage of a Bronson Arroyo pitch that came in a lot of the night, 74, 76, 68. You and I are watching this, but you made a good point that 2 weeks ago he handcuffed him. Yeah. They had at least some frame of reference as they faced him tonight.
Yeah. The last time they faced him, they were super aggressive. They were in the first inning, they swung at the first 3 pitches of the game and I think made 3 outs. So today, they were like, let him work. He's going to make a mistake, and he throws 75 miles an hour. If I get to 0-2, I can trust myself to be able to make contact, even in that situation. So
no question.
They did a good job today.
All right, time for our Elk Grove Village pitching recap. Now look at the numbers here. Bronson Arroyo went 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned, 1 strikeout, and 2 walks, 88 pitches. John Lackey, 5 1/3, a 7 hit, 3 earned. He battled tonight, 3 Ks, 2 walks, 104 pitches. That's the second consecutive start for him where he's kept his team in the ballgame. A week ago, it was historic at Coors. Tonight, he was a grinder.
Yeah, he battled because it was tough. And it's tough to be a pitcher in these situations. Like Cozart ambushed him. He always takes the first pitch of the game. He ambushed him in a home run. The defense kind of lapsed on him a couple times, but he was able to pitch out of situations. And that's the thing about John Lackey. He's a competitor. You want him on your team. And he was able to keep him in the game and let the offense pick him up today.
A little more on Lackey. I mean, this is a veteran guy that doesn't have the 95 that he used to sit at, but he still knows how to pitch.
Yeah, he throws corner to corner, up and down. He uses the 4 boxes of the strike zone. So he's smart. He knows the hitter sometimes more than the hitter, and he's an attacker. He wants to get ahead with strike 1 and then be able to flip his curveball and his slider to put him away.
All right, time for a break here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We'll hear from Joe Madden. We'll take you through the winning box score. Take a guess who it belongs to tonight. We'll be right back on CSN.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
It's true. They're here, touched by something that will bloom in you.
Just like we practiced.
Okay, we can get started.
Thanks. That was fun.
Nicely done.
During the Start Your Own Legacy Spring event, lease or finance the all-wheel drive Infiniti QX60 plus spring bonus at your local Infiniti retailer.
Did you guys clean my desk?
No.
No. Yes. A little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Tiny bit.
We pranked you.
Huh.
You're mad.
You're upset. We're so sorry.
You're
We
fuming.
went too far.
I'm not mad. Thank you. It's great.
No, welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
We're gonna go detail Karen's car.
She's gonna be so surprised.
Experience our award-winning customer service and get internet and TV starting at $59.99 a month. Limited time only. Visit Wowway.com.
Hi, this is Dean Collins, operating partner at Gerald Nissan. Now's the time to come get that new or pre-owned Nissan from Gerald Nissan.
We have the largest inventory ever, the best sales staff, and the most aggressive deals. Come see why Gerald Nissan customers have awarded us the Dealer Rater Dealer of the Year award, and Edmunds has just given us the 5-star Dealer Award as well. Our customers are happy, and you will be too. Gerald Nissan in Naperville and I-88 Orchard Road. Gerald Nissan's always a better deal. I guarantee it.
Subscribe to the Cubs Talk podcast on iTunes or the Google Play Store today.
Time now for our Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Who's hot and who's not? NOT. Who's hot on Tuesdays this season? Entering tonight, Javier Baez was hitting .368 with 2 bombs and an OPS of 1.211 on a Tuesday. Who's not? Cole Calhoun. Give your money back. 107, 3 of 28, 10 strikeouts, and a brutal .352 OPS. Our UPS Store Taking Care of Business Player of the Game. We're giving it to manager Joe Madden. Won his 1,000th game tonight of his Major League managerial career. Very, very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's an honor. 1,000 wins. There's, what's there, 8 guys right now that are in the 1,000-win plateau.
Yep.
And
there's the board right there. Oh, there you go. Look at the name. Look at Bochy, 1805. Dusty, 1791. There's Socha, Showalter, Francona, and a guy you don't expect to have won that many, Ned Yost.
Yeah.
Get her
I threw
done.
it out there. I was like, I didn't know, and wow, that's surprising. But
yeah, we were guessing the names, and when you came up with Ned Yost, I'm like, maybe, because he was in Milwaukee as well, but he won the World Series with the Royals. Let's hear from Joe Madden, who is celebrating his 1,000th win with us.
Cheers.
Binnings.
Oh, Jesus. If you can't find it, no, we're drinking. What are you drinking? It is actually something called the Big Smooth. Coach Lester Strode gave us a bottle for the plane ride, brought it in, and it's actually really good. It is the Big Smooth. It's got this velvet label on it that's, and I guess they can't keep it on the shelves. I think it's primarily because of the label. However, the juice is good also. And it's from Lodi. And we've all played in Lodi at some point. Played, it's the Dodgers for 100 years, Stan Wozniak. So it's kind of cool drinking a glass, the Big Smooth from Lodi.
So number 1,000, nice way to get it.
Yeah, I mean, it was we played well. We made some plays. Under really adverse situations, circumstances, pitching-wise. And I thought John Lackey was outstanding again. I mean, we had a couple of base hits fall in front, run scored on a wild-pitch pass ball. The home run to left I thought was really well struck me, but the home run to center, it ended up on that roof. But we were wind-aided also in some situations. It was just one of those nights. So I thought Lackey pitched really well once again. Our bullpen was good. Uehara, I just told Koji, listen, man, that's going to happen on days like this. You can't let that bother you. But we got our share also. Some nice plays on defense. The pickoff again by Contreras. And the bullpen was good. Yeah, I thought they both, of course, Kyle really hit that ball well, but I even loved more the line drive down the left field line. That's Addison home run, right center, love that. We just got to get the middle of the field back in play. That's where we're losing out on RBIs, is just by playing with the small part of the field as opposed to the big part. And so I took that as somewhat of a good sign.
Instead of asking you if Happ is giving you something to think about, is it just put a pen to his name in there?
He's already in tomorrow. That wasn't difficult. How about the walk? See, that's what I know the home run's nice and all that, but the walk. Bases loaded walk, didn't expand the strike zone, took the walk. That's really nice to see out of a young player. Candelario had some good at-bats there, too. But Ian looks extremely in the moment and calm and talked about it. I say that about a lot of our guys. But look at the average age on the field. I was looking at that in the beginning of the game. And listen, that's just one win. We got to keep getting this rolling in the right direction. However, it's a nice first step.
So is it as a simple matter of you're a home run hitting team? You guys, I think 11-3 now, hitting 2 or more home runs.
We do. We're talking about, we're not really good so far with runners in scoring position. We get them out there, and then all of a sudden if it's not a home run, we're having a hard time just scoring them with singles. And I really enjoy the scoring them with singles routine also. And I do believe the art there is to use the middle of the field, just to really stay in the big part of the yard. And of course the pitcher's not going to give in. Of course you may get a chance to hit a home run with nobody on and make a 1-0 count because the pitcher doesn't want to walk. You get to get a cookie somewhat. But runners in scoring position, they're going to expand, they're going to change speeds, they're going to make you chase. And that's what we're missing right now. We got to organize our strike zones, utilize the middle of the field, and we will. I really believe that we will. We've done it. We've just gotten away from it a little bit right now.
All right, time for our Jim Beam winning box score. And hey, Marty Brenneman, this is for you, buddy. This one belongs to the Cubs. Kyle Schwarber, 2 for 5, scored 2, a home run, an RBI. Chris Bryant had a couple knocks, 2 for Riz. Ian Happ had the home run, 2 RBIs. Jamer Candelario, a 2 for 4 night. Russell had the home run, 2 for Wilson Contreras, including a big double off the center field wall. And then Lackey and Javi Baez bringing up the rear. Bottom of the 5th, Ian Happ goes the opposite way and into the left field bleachers for a second big league homer and a 5-3 lead. Becomes the first Cub to homer in his home and road debut. And guess who caught that ball out there? Shout out to Fowler's Hollers, Mike Mitchell making the catch. He's tweeting at me. Hey, Mike Mitchell made the catch at Mike_Mitchell23 on Twitter. And he makes the play, and hopefully he'll get that ball back to Ian Happ, his first Wrigley Field home run.
Nice play, Mikey.
Pretty cool. All right, time for our James & Sons Fine Jewelers Fielding Gem. Top of the 4th, Scott Schebler drifts a little bit too far off first base and gotcha!
He does
that
this once a
game.
game.
Ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
It's unreal. From almost from his knees.
Guys aren't going to get off the base anymore, I think. He picks off everyone that just gets a little bit out there, trying to do too much. As a runner, you're trying to get a lead, trying to get that secondary. You got to go sprinting back to the base because he's coming up gunning and wants to make you look terrible out there.
David Ross taught him and taught him well. Nice. He's a good student. We'll be right back. Cubs postgame live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Continue.
If you love to watch what you want, when you want it, anywhere you want, Xfinity is the clear choice with this incredible offer. Get internet and TV with a choice of HBO or Showtime for just $29.99 a month. Download the Xfinity Stream app and your content is mobile. Get up to 3 times the speed for just $10 more a month for 12 months. Combine all that with in-home internet service of 25 megabits per second, all for just $29.99 per month with a 1-year term agreement. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
So I'm never gonna let you go. I'll hold you forever. Oh, baby, I'm gonna let you know we belong together. We belong together.
Your home, your auto. Together, they're where life happens. That's why State Farm protects them together, to help life go right. Combine and save. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Just like we practiced.
Okay, we can get started.
Thanks. That was fun.
Nicely done.
During the Start Your Own Legacy Spring event, lease or finance the all-wheel drive Infiniti Q50 2-liter turbo, plus spring bonus at your local Infiniti retailer.
At Menards, home improvement means saving big because right now you'll get an 11% rebate on everything, even sale prices. Get more storage for less money with Aero Metal Storage Sheds. This 10 by 12 foot Arlington is only $337.31 after rebate. Choose Spectra for aluminum gutters you can depend on and get an 11% rebate. Stop waiting and start saving with an 11% rebate on everything, even sale prices, now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Holy smokes. It's White Castle's new brisket slider. Thick cut brisket, bullseye barbecue sauce, and onion crisps. So you can have a barbecue anytime. Like now. Smoky, saucy, briskety. Now that's a bold move.
Hey, Cubs fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking, an official Cubs MasterCard debit card like our producer Jeff Nelson has. Only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs. Learn more. Member FDIC. Time for our Blue Cross Blue Shield key to the game. David DeJesus said to me, look, we have got to make sure we take care of the summer wind-like weather here at Wrigley. The summer wind was blowing out, and the Cubs took full advantage.
You might have to. I want to hear you sing a little bit that song, but
summer wind, yeah, blowing in from across the sea.
I mean, today was a midsummer day, and the bats woke up and took advantage of this breeze blowing out. Used all the fields, hit home runs opposite field, center field. So this is a great start to the homestand.
And you have 99 career home runs. You said in the newsroom, just let me play one more game and see if I can get number 100.
Hey, that would be great. But
up in the jet stream
good here.
and get it going.
Here. I like this spot. You're
comfortable.
I'm good.
All right, looking for a unique Cubs gift item? Well, check out the Cubs Sports Crate, which gives you exclusive Cubs items you can't find anywhere else. So they got this Cubs soccer jersey. Kind of cool looking right there.
Cool.
How about a little mini Cubs bags game?
Yeah, you can play and throw it in there. And
wow, he nailed it.
Sorry about that.
And then you get the little mini John Lester. There you go. I'm not even going to make any jokes.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it. There's the mini John Lester right there.
Hey, this is pretty cool.
You got it. That's
cool.
going home to Spidey.
Yeah, let's bring it to him. He'll love this.
Got it. All right. Crates start at $39.99 a month, and for a limited time, fans can save 10% by buying a season pass for $199.99. And every month, Sports Crate subscribers have the chance to win a golden ticket, which is redeemable for a once-in-a-lifetime experience and autographed items. For more information, visit sportscrate.com. Let's hear from John Lackey, tonight's starting pitcher. Out there with the wind blowing like that.
It was a terrible night to pitch, actually. It was blowing out about 100 miles an hour, and yeah, it was hot.
kind of felt like your days in Texas, just with the wind and the heat.
Nah, Texas is way hotter than that. I like the heat, really, especially as an older guy. It helps you get loose too, and I'm used to that sort of thing for sure.
I mean, do you view that as a success, keeping, them just solo home runs in the first and second and paddling through?
Yeah, I'd like, yeah, it's hard for me to explain to you guys, but yeah, it was a tough place to pitch tonight for sure.
Anything to say.
All right, a little bit of John Lackey. We'll be right back on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
No bars. Oh no, looks like somebody needs a new network.
When I got this unlimited plan, they told me they were all the same.
They're not. Verizon has the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. It's basically made for places like this.
Honey, what if it was just us out here?
Right. So I ordered you a car.
Thank you.
You don't want to be out here at night because of the coyotes.
Okay, thanks, bud. Bye.
Be nice to have your car for some shelter. Bye.
When it really, really matters, you need the best network and the best unlimited. Just $45 per line for 4 lines.
Did you guys clean my desk?
No. Yes. A little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Tiny bit.
We pranked you.
Huh.
You're mad.
You're upset. We're so sorry.
You're
We
fuming.
went too far.
I'm not mad. Thank you. It's great.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
We're gonna go detail Karen's car.
She's gonna be so surprised.
Experience our award-winning customer service and get internet and TV starting at $59.99 a month. Limited time only. Visit Huawei.com.
In case you need anything, just give me a call. Thank you.
P.O. Box 17. Of course I'm a real company.
You got the area code.
Everything your customers see tells a story. Let the UPS store help you tell the right one. From business cards and banners to expertly packed shipments to mailboxes with a real street address. Come in today for help.
This is the original light beer. Brewed to be everything you want in a beer and less. Miller Lite. Hold true.
All right, let's check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's Game 2 of this series. It'll be Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs taking on Scott Feldman, who will always have a special place in Cubs fans' hearts as the man he was traded to the Orioles for. Jake Arrieta. Hendricks got the loss last Wednesday in Colorado. Went 6 1/3, giving up 2 runs, left the game down 1. Carl Edwards Jr. gave up a 2-run single. The pitcher, Herman Marquez, on an 0-2 pitch. Good spot here for Kyle at the friendly confines.
Yeah, keep the ball down. Looks like another warm day. Probably the wind's going to be blowing out. Perfect day for sinker, changeup combination. Keep it low in the zone.
Yep,
keep
run
it off
it
the barrels.
back over, just catch the corner.
Yep.
All right, I'll see you on Thursday.
All right.
There he is. For David, I'm Cap. Luke and Layla coming up next. Thanks for watching Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. See ya.
There's no panic. In fact, like I said, there's some excitement. We know that at some point we're going to get hot.
Best hitter in baseball. Hello, Schwarber. Way out of here.
So anyone who sold their shares of Schwarber stock want them back now? This is In the Loop Prime, presented by GMC.
People really need to start trusting the process. Hey, speaking of the Celtics, they won the NBA draft lottery. We'll tell you what it means for the chances of a Jimmy Butler trade with Boston. Let's go no huddle.
Right around this time last year, we were 25-6, and I was getting asked non-sarcastic questions about how are we going to manage the push for the greatest record of all time versus resting our guys for the playoffs. And I called BS on that, and now I'm getting asked about, if we're going to send everyday guys down to AAA, and, are we going to, I was not by you guys, I was asked by someone else if we're going to consider selling and things like that. So I call BS on that too.
It's the KG veteran. That's deep, left field, and it is gone! Second home run for Ian Happ, his first at Wrigley.
Luke did call it on In the Loop before the Cubs game. Ian Happ homering in his Wrigley Field debut. Here he was after the game.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Good to get a W, and the fans, the energy in the stadium was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Did you think you got that one out in the home run, or did you think you got a jet stream there?
Yeah, I got barrel on it, and I knew anything in the air today, barrel had a chance, so nice that it got over the basket.
Joe talked about how impressive was more so of your walk than the home run. Is that an element of your game that you've worked on a lot?
Yeah, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts today, so could still get better. But for me, being disciplined, swinging at strikes, swinging at pitches I can do damage on is part of the game, and especially that situation. First time being in kind of Wrigley bumping like that. I felt good about the way I handled it, felt good about the way I saw the baseball there.
Ian, you talked about before the game playing in front of some of those crazies out in left and right field. What'd you hear from them, if anything, that you could tell us?
Just a ton of support. The whole game, especially after that home run, a lot of support from them, and just I can't say enough about how great these fans are.
How difficult was that wind today?
The wind? You know what? I didn't get any balls that were tough. Anything that kind of caught the jet stream went out. So. I didn't have a tough time with it, but it was definitely blowing, and BP, you could really see some of the balls get thrown around by it.
How have you been able to stay so freaking
Our Crunchers note of the night, courtesy of our statistician Chris Kamka. Ian Happ is the first Cubs player to homer in both Major League home and road debuts since Carmelo Martinez in 1983.
The great Carmelo Martinez. Joined now by our Cubs post-game live team, the Double Davids, Theo Epstein, as we heard before the game. Anybody that wants to sell their Schwarber stock, they're buying. Schwarber goes deep tonight in our fan poll. Are you buying or selling Schwarber stock? Go to csnchicago.com/vote. Guys, I'm sure you're buying.
Yeah, my friend David wanted to sell some Schwarber stock.
Which David? Not this David.
Not this.
Another David is selling.
Another David.
I'm in.
Too many Davids.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, this kid is a heck of a hitter, and there is no reason for people to panic about this baseball team. None whatsoever.
He's been squaring some balls up. Bad luck and right at him, and this could be the day where get that confidence, build that confidence, and get when he went the other way. Those are the things that as a hitter they stay in your brain. You feel that more and more. He's going to get hot.
I was messing with you earlier, Luke, because you did call the potential for the Happ home run on the 6:30 show. But
yeah.
we also discussed the idea of Schwarber going tonight because of the weather, because of what was going on. And as I joked earlier, we just act like we've been there before. We don't tweet about it.
That's true. Well, I'll tweet about it.
Okay, before we move any further, can we just get notice of this real quick? The ankle situation going on our friend David DeJesus. You went totally opposite Cap. Cap is always with the sock game. And you just went no sock.
No, I got no-show socks.
I don't even know what's happening right
Oh,
now.
that's the difference. So you're comfortable.
I'm not sweaty, but I'm nice and cool. So.
And when it gets hot and humid like this, keep the ankles cool.
Sun's out.
You think he'll wear one of those romp hims?
Yeah, he's going to wear one of those men rompers, right?
You know
seen
what?
those?
Those are awesome.
I hope you guys all have to deal with the struggle at some point that is wearing a romper. But because it's engineered for a man, I'm sure it'll be easy, unlike women's clothing. All right, so as far as our other friend, David, who we mentioned previously, he was on STL suggesting moving Schwarber out of that leadoff spot. So here are some of the tweets he got tonight after the home run. Hey, David, what's good? Hashtag that's Cub. I like that. So then Hall responded, funny. Gotta love fans who think critiquing an athlete means you're rooting against him. That objectivity is animus. Nice home run, Schwarber. I feel like you should be the one reading that in Hall voice, David.
No question about it. He'll be in tomorrow to do STL. He will take his requisite punishment tomorrow.
So the bigger question, though, is, I think, do the Cubs have or maybe want another option at leadoff?
Joe does not. No, I don't believe.
You just keep relying on him. You heard all the words from Theo, from Jed, from Coach Joe Madden. They're behind him. They want him to succeed in this role, and it's all about just putting him out there. Because if you put him in the 7th hole, now he'll get 3 at-bats. If he goes over 3, it just sits in there more, and the confidence could go down. So he's in the right spot. He's just got to get going. That's really what it comes down to. He's got to get going.
Now, I know you guys both, Layla mentioned Schwarber, you mentioned Schwarber, but we have proof of mine. Let's take a look. I am calling a Happ homer tonight at Wrigley Field. That's all you need to hear right there. It show's over. Game over. See, high fives for everybody around the
right there.
We all go home. Let's shut it down.
Game over.
Like it.
So, but what happens with him, because Hayward's probably coming back and he's already in the lineup for tomorrow? What do the Cubs do with the roster when Hayward comes back?
You keep hitting and they find a way, right?
I mean, that's what it always was down to. If you're hit, you're in there. And he can play different spots, give guys a day off, put him in there. But that bat is special right now. His at-bats have been great the 3 games he's been in. So.
And
gives him flexibility.
Yeah.
From what we heard, he is going to be in the lineup for tomorrow's game facing Scott Feldman. So let's check out our CSN fan poll results now. We're trying to get a look at how many % of you are buying Schwarber stock. 70%. I'd say that's reasonable.
Pretty good number.
What's up with the 30% of you that
Those are Sox fans who want to trade for Schwarber, so they're trying to knock down his price as much as they can.
Furthermore, of players who have, say, won a title, who would you be selling exactly? I'm just going to throw that question
Funny thing is, Ryan McGuffey put out a Twitter question tonight. If you had to trade one of these three to get a frontline controllable starter, one of them, Happ, Baez, Schwarber, and the one that finished third was Ian Happ, the runaway winner that they would trade, Javi Baez.
Interesting. And I heard Mark DeRosa say that's the last guy he would trade today on Waddle and Sylvie.
Correct.
Interesting. All right, Lexus must-see video experience. Amazing. Let's check this out. Josh Harrison, former Cubs prospect, didn't have a great thing going into second base, so he just stopped and put on the brakes, and he's safe. That's a pretty nifty move coming in. I mean, you could blow your knee out going like that. Full speed to put on the brakes.
I mean, that's dedication to stopping. Wow. His ankle almost rolled over. That's a tough one, but hey, he got to second and probably scored.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good move.
Right now, what is that?
That's unbelievable.
That was the Matrix.
Awful. But not as good as the Chris Coughlin slide from the other day.
No, it's not.
But over the top of Yadi Molina.
Nothing will be as good as that. So what about this? Milwaukee's Eric Sogard hit a 10th inning solo home run against the Padres to break a 4-all tie last night at Petco. But San Diego got a walk-off from Hunter Renfroe, and little Olivia Sogard was not happy about this. You have to learn early in your life that sports is unfair.
Why did the Padres win? Because they hit a home run at the very end, so they won. It's okay, we can win the next one. I thought Daddy meant to do because he got a home run. What? Daddy got a home run too. Daddy did get a home run too, baby. Daddy hit his home run, and then the Padres hit a home run. Why? That's just baseball. There's no crying in baseball.
That's awesome.
Oh, my goodness.
That's phenomenal.
That was
That's
my
awesome.
first 44 years of being a Cubs fan right there, summed up into one video.
Yeah, that's awesome. He was an ex-teammate of mine, Eric Sogard.
Yeah?
He's hitting homers now, and she was just in the baby bump at that time when I played with him, so it's great to see him still in the show and hitting homers.
Making money.
Man.
That's a fun family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty
They
cool.
were awesome.
Well, guys, we appreciate you taking the time. I mean, the sock game is totally at another level right now.
That's what it's about.
I mean, you got to keep it going because the Cubs
little
won.
by little, little by little.
So the next time you guys are on, you have to keep this going.
I'm not a superstitious person.
I'm thinking of getting one of the short sleeve suits, the Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. Not Wade, was Rondo. Rondo cutting off the sleeves.
Yeah, it's we're part of the show.
We've got this figured out, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ian Happ and Homer, we're going with the list, and the list is great debuts at Wrigley Field for Cubs players.
Big 3-1. There's a swing and a drive, deep right center. That ball carrying. Tie game! Tie game! Kosuke has done it! Oh, baby!
Wrigley erupted March 31st, 2008. Kosuke, his first major league game at Wrigley Field. That was his major league debut. 3 for 3, game time, 3-run homer in the ninth against Eric Gagne. He also walked once, but the Cubs lost in extra innings.
We go a little more recently, way back, June 26, 2012. Anthony Rizzo, 2 for 4 the first time he played at Wrigley. He had a double off of the Mets' Dylan G and the game-winning RBI in a Cubs 5-3 win.
Cubs got 7 shutout innings from their 24-year-old pitcher Kyle Hendricks in his Wrigley debut July 22nd, 2014. Rizzo helped out with 2 homers to support the professor, and afterwards Hendricks called it the best day of his life.
What about last year? Albert Almore Jr. impressed in his first start at Wrigley, going 3 for 4 with a double, 2 RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. And Francisco Liriano started for the Pirates that day. It was on June 17th, 2016. He was 5th in the lineup and started in right field. Still to come on In the Loop Prime, Greg Popovich almost watched Warriors interim coach Mike Brown get arrested before tonight's Game 2 in the Bay Area. Brown all laughs as he shares the story. Plus, the NBA draft lottery pretty much took care of any Jimmy Butler Boston talk. So we will take an early look at who might be there for the taking in the Bulls draft at 16.
In the Loop on CSN is presented to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
From the moment you see it, it commands your respect. You can feel its immense power. The only way to master it is to venture inside. Go ahead, dive in. The GMC Sierra, offering the most V8 horsepower in its class. We are professional grade. Step up to GMC and pay no interest for 72 months on this 2017 GMC Sierra Double Cab. GMC, we are professional grade.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, thousands of barrels lay silent. But that doesn't mean they lay idle. In fact, inside each and every Jim Beam barrel, the bourbon is aging, building a fuller, smoother flavor that only comes from being aged 4 long years. At Jim Beam, our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Announcing Hyundai's Better Than Ever sales event. Come in now for the biggest savings in our 30-year history on select new Hyundais. Like up to $4,250 total savings on the 2017 Elantra.
Really? Wow.
And every new Hyundai comes with an amazing warranty.
America's best warranty.
Hurry in before the best offers in Hyundai history are, well, history. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. Better Than Ever is the reason to buy now. Lease the Elantra for $109 a month or get up to $4,250 in total savings. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Okay. And with your BMO Harris checking account, you don't have to pay any monthly maintenance fees.
Why?
Well, we try to understand our customers' needs. So we included no minimum balance and access to 40,000 no-fee ATMs nationwide.
Why?
Because we care about our customers.
Why?
Because,
What? These are important questions.
Why?
Introducing a checking account with no monthly maintenance fees. That's the BMO effect. BMO Harris Bank. We're here to help.
30 years in the making. Discounts that are record-breaking. Star Nissan in Niles celebrates the grand opening of Berman Auto Group's newest dealership with 0% for 72 months on select Nissan models. No payments until July and no down payment required. There's never been a better time to buy and save at Star Nissan in Niles because when it's backed by Berman, you can trust in us.
The second pick will be made by the Los Angeles Lakers. And that means that the number 1 pick in the 2000 NBA draft goes to the Boston Celtics.
Not a bad 24 hours for Celtics fans. First, they beat the Wizards to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then they land the number 1 overall pick in tonight's draft lottery. Lakers and Sixers rounding out the top 3. The Kings land in the top 10, so they keep their pick that otherwise would have gone to the Bulls.
We are joined now by our NBA expert, Mark Shanowski. So, Mark, how does Boston ending up with the number 1 overall pick impact any potential deal that the Celtics could pursue for Jimmy Butler?
Bye-bye to that possibility. Boston is going to sit pretty with what they've got right now. You know, they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals to play the Cavaliers. They're now the number 1 overall pick. Word out of Boston is they love Markelle Fultz, the point guard out of Washington. So Danny Ainge is going to draft Fultz, and then he's going to pursue Gordon Hayward in free agency. Celtics could look pretty good in the future. So outside of a draft night blockbuster, Bulls fans focused on the second half of the lottery all the way down to number 16. How's that going to shake out? There's pretty much a consensus on the top 6 picks, so we'll start with Tom Thibodeau at number 7. We're going to give Tibbs the poor man's Dirk Nowitzki, Lauri Markkanen from Finland. He had a good freshman season at the University of Arizona. We'll see if Tibbs can convert him into a good prospect. Now, if the New York Knicks are able to get Malik Monk from Kentucky at number 8, Phil Jackson's going to be very happy. A high-scoring shooting guard. He's a good player who may move up in the process as we go along. Number 9, the Dallas Mavericks. We're going to give them a point guard they could use, Dennis Smith from North Carolina State. He is a shoot-first kind of point guard, but he could give some offense, maybe help Dirk out in his 20th and final season. The next pick, Frank Ntilikina, playing in France right now. The Sacramento Kings need just about everything. He could maybe give them some help at the point guard position. As for Michael Jordan's team, the Charlotte Hornets, well, Zach Collins played really well in the NCAA tournament, helping Gonzaga make it all the way to the title game. He had a good game against Northwestern as well, so we think he could be headed to Charlotte. The Detroit Pistons, they need some insurance in the backcourt, so we're going to give them Donovan Mitchell, a 6'3" shooting guard with a 6'10" wingspan. He could certainly help Stan Van Gundy out in the backcourt. The Denver Nuggets, they could go in a number of different directions. This is a team that has a lot of young talent, but so far they really haven't been able to convert that into a winning program. They might be a team that's looking to deal on draft night, but if they keep that pick, maybe they go with OG Anunoby from Indiana. He was hurt midway through his sophomore season. He has a world of potential. If he hadn't been hurt, most likely he would have been a top 10 pick. At number 14, Pat Riley and the Miami Heat. We think they're going to go with Justin Jackson, the guy who helped the North Carolina Tar Heels win the national championship, a very productive 6'8" athlete who can shoot the three ball. All right, now we get to the teams that did qualify for the playoffs. Portland was a 41-41 team. They won a coin flip with the Bulls, so they will pick 15th. We're going to give them John Collins, a 6'10" power forward from Wake Forest, a very explosive athlete. And for the Bulls pick, drum roll, guys. All right, how about this? I'm sure a lot of fans out there have not even heard of this guy. Terrence Ferguson. He's a guy who grew up in the States but decided he didn't want to go to 1 year of college before he entered the NBA draft. He's been playing professionally in Australia. A 6'7" guy who can shoot it, who can jump out of the gym, but not a whole lot of experience. Hopefully this time the Bulls will get potential over college production and it will work out. At least we're going to keep our fingers crossed.
I feel like this should have been one of those you got to be bleeping me segments with Hawk.
That's
this
the
is how
draft.
it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
It's so close.
We can always hope.
Mark, thanks.
All right.
Good day, mate, I guess. All right,
College, Australia.
Yeah, I'd go
College.
to Australia too, I guess. Mike Brown's filling in for Steve Kerr. Kerr played for the Spurs, and Brown used to be an assistant coach for Pop and the Spurs.
So Brown apparently tried to get around the Spurs buses to get to Oracle Arena tonight, and that led to this.
A cop out of nowhere pulls in front of me and goes, "Hey, you! Stop!" I'm like, "Warriors acting coach?" He's like, "I don't care. Hey, you stop!" So, I'm like feeling myself a little bit. I'm like, "Hey." And another one pulls up, "Hey, you heard him, stop!" So I'm like, okay, I'm on a motorcycle, right? If I scoot a little closer, they gotta get scared, because I know I would get scared. From a car to a motorcycle, so I start scooting forward. And then an SUV pulls up, beating. And I hear them over their speaker. "Hey, you in the Range Rover, stop!" I'm just trying to get to the game. I'm like, so I let the bus go and the 18 cops, and I'm going around behind the bus, and I get this phone call. "Greg Popovich." So I answer the phone, and Papa's dying. He goes, "Mikey, I didn't know that was you." He goes, "I'm sitting here, I see this black Range Rover, I see all these cops surrounding him, I see the car trying to inch forward. I'm like, he's about to get arrested." I said, "Pop," "this is my own building." He goes, "I know, when I saw it was you, I died laughing."
Oh, well, he got the last laugh. Courier and the Warriors looking to go up 2 games against the Spurs. Everything went their way early. Second quarter, Dubs up 27. Curry heaves a 3 after some contact, gets a bounce and a foul. Warriors up 31 after the free throw. Third quarter, Spurs cut the lead to 20. Curry too much to handle. Breaks Dwayne DeMond's ankles en route to find another one. He finished with 29. The only negative for Golden State was Zaza Pachulia going down with an ankle injury in the third quarter. Perhaps a little karma after his play on Kawhi Leonard. Warriors go up 136-100 in this game and are up 2-0 on San Antonio.
One day, maybe they'll raise Theo Epstein's banner outside Wrigley Field, but former GM Sam Hinkie will forever be immortalized at Philadelphia's sports bar. That is not the most ridiculous thing from a Sixers draft party. And we'll have Kyle Schwarber reaction after tonight's game coming up next.
Test drive the new Mini Countryman sports activity vehicle today at your local Mini dealer.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, every barrel's aged 4 long years for a fuller, smoother flavor. Our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Announcing Hyundai's Better Than Ever sales event. Come in now for the biggest savings in our 30-year history on select new Hyundais. Like up to $4,250 total savings on the 2017 Elantra.
Really? Wow.
And every new Hyundai comes with an amazing warranty.
America's best warranty.
Hurry in before the best offers in Hyundai history are, well, history. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. Better Than Ever is the reason to buy now. Lease the Elantra for $109 a month or get up to $4,250 in total savings. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Papa John's Double Play, 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for only $6.99 each.
A deal so big it needs a replay.
Double better ingredients means double better pizza.
Papa John's Double Play, 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for $6.99 each.
Papa John's.
Just like we practiced.
Okay, we can get started.
Thanks. That was fun.
Nicely done.
During the Start Your Own Legacy Spring event, Lisa financed the all-wheel drive Infiniti Q50 2-liter turbo, plus spring bonus at your local Infiniti retailer.
Tomorrow on CSN, the Sox look to put a stop to one of the hottest hitters in baseball as they face Mike Trout and the Angels in the series finale. Coverage begins at 8:30 with White Sox pregame live or stream live on the NBC Sports app. CSN hits the road to give you full access inside the White Sox farm system. Get to know Yoan Moncada, Michael Kopech, Zach Birdie, and more. White Sox Cornerstones, presented by Ozinga, premieres Monday, May 22nd.
Welcome back. Weather warms up and the Cubs break out the big bats at Wrigley tonight. 4 home runs, including Ian Happ's first home run at the friendly confines, which I, of course, predicted. Did I mention that? Did I predict that?
Give me some lottery numbers if you're on this kick.
Cubs win 9-4, 9-5. Here's Schwarber after the win.
Yeah, good game all around. I stuck with the approach, and good things happened, and so did everyone else. Felt like we all put in really good at bats today, and we walked out with a win, which is important.
462-foot home run, one of the longest in a long time. Does that feel any different than just a normal home run, so to speak?
No, it doesn't feel any different at all. A home run's a home run. It can hit the basket, or you can hit where it hit, or go out of the stadium, whatever it is. Homer's a homer, and it's always a good feeling.
When you go through all this and you're asked about what's not going right, at some point do you get pissed about answering the things over and over again?
No, no. Like I said, it's all a process, and at times it's good to kind of fail, because you know what it's like to get out of it. And I'm still learning every day. Baseball throws me different things every day, and for today, you got to learn, and not to change anything, and just kind of stick with that process of what's been working. It's always rewarding when that happens.
Tougher when millions of people are wondering along with you?
It is what it is. I don't blame them, and I wish that they could feel what I feel. Obviously I feel terrible when you're not trying, you're not helping your team or anything like that. But I'm going to go out there every day, and I want to help my team win. And today was a good day.
Bruce Levine in the paint. This is our first parting shot of the night. The Sixers may have only gotten the 3rd pick in the NBA draft lottery, but the party in Philly for a draft lottery was amazing. Thousands of people attended a sold-out lottery watch party at Xfinity Live. Yes, the bar and club is named after cable. They raised Sam Hinkie's banner. A couple got engaged. This is a draft lottery party. It's not even the draft. People got tickets. What's not to love?
Xfinity does things right. That's all I can say. As an encore parting shot, or maybe a chaser, if you will, the Twins broadcast went digging for dirt on former closer LaTroy Hawkins, who is now a Twins analyst.
So most of Hawkins' teammates were complimentary, but Hawkins could not say the same on current White Sox pitcher Tommy Kahnle.
Well,
I can't believe they didn't tell you about the fight that I got into in 2014 with one of my teammates, Tommy Canley. I'm surprised they didn't tell you about that.
Tommy Canley, the guy's now with the White Sox, that guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Well, it's just good-natured, right?
No.
It was not good.
One of the worst teammates I've ever had in my life.
Oh, really?
By far, and I've had a lot of teammates.
He did. Played for a lot of teams. But I could do your
LaTroy
job.
Hawkins. You the real MVP.
Maestros lead with confidence, exactness, inspiration. At GMC, we're in tune with that degree of precision. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the GMC Acadia. The next generation SUV has arrived. Get this low mileage lease on this Acadia SLE1 for around $279 per month. Plus, current GMC or non-GM lessees can get $1,500 additional lease cash.
2 dedicated hero cops. Vince, Abel. One life-saving mission. Out to prove no one is. They're keeping the streets safe and their conscience clean. Cracking down on unbuckled drivers and passengers, even in the back seat. Click it or ticket. No one is.
A home is where life is lived. The unmistakable beauty and performance of Unilock pavers and walls enrich the quality of outdoor living, where perfect settings and cherished moments become memories that last a lifetime. Live life beautifully with Unilock.
When you paint with Frog Tape, something magical happens, because Frog Tape is the only painting tape with patented paint block technology to give you the cleanest, sharpest lines possible. The patented paint block reacts with water in latex paint to form a micro barrier against paint bleed. Frog Tape Delicate even works on freshly painted surfaces, giving you maximum creative flexibility for professional results when you paint. There's only one name to know. Frog Tape keeps paint out, keeps lines sharp.
As the next system moves in, make sure your vehicle is prepared. Rain, mud, dirt, and sand. With the advanced technology of WeatherTech floor liners, your vehicle is protected against the elements. Laser-measured perfect protection covering front, back, and even up the sides. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com, call 1-800-CarMats, or visit our factory store in Bolingbrook. Stay one step ahead of the weather with WeatherTech.
Welcome to Inside Look, presented by Cadillac. I'm David Kaplan. When Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer sought out a veteran to help the rebuilding Cubs turn the corner, they looked no further than someone they already knew very well. In the winter of 2014, Cubs signed John Lester to a 6-year, $155 million deal. And for all involved, the return has been priceless.
For me, it's a perfect storm. You know, if you would ask Theo and Jed before the 14 season if I would have been a free agent, they probably would have laughed and said no. And I probably would have laughed and said no. No way, shape, or form did I think I was going to make it to free agency. I thought I'd have a deal done out of spring training with the Red Sox and be a Red Sox for the rest of my career and ride off into the sunset and call it a career. With that being said, things happen, get me to free agency. Having Theo and Jed over here, I think has really helped bring me and attract me to the Cubs, even more so than what Chicago had to offer. You know, Chicago was already on top of our list of places that we wanted to, I guess, see where their interest was. And as the offseason went on, we figured out their interest in how everything played out and all that stuff. And I mean, obviously, everybody just points to a contract and a number figure and go, well, that's obvious why. And that's really not. You know, we had a couple other offers that were more and more years and all that stuff. But Chicago just fit with Theo. I mean, I look around now when we walk around Chicago, and there's more Red Sox people there that I grew up with than I could remember with the Red Sox. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm sure it's probably the vice versa over there now. They got all new people over there and wouldn't recognize anybody. But we got Jason McLeod, Jared Porter, obviously Jed and Theo. You know, I know there's a lot of other guys that I'm missing, and actually women too that I'm missing that were over there. So I think it was just a perfect storm, and it ended up working out. It ended up being, you know, they sold me on the prospects. They sold me on where the franchise was going with the ballpark and the amenities and the spring training amenities. I think the big thing for me is just I knew Theo. I knew he wasn't going to BS me around, you know. And if there was something I saw, I spoke up. Whereas all these other guys, I just listened. And if I had a question here or there, I'd ask it. But I knew I could call Theo on something if I didn't think it was, you know, was right. And you know, perfect example of this is, I don't know if many people know this, but when they made their first offer, we wanted to keep everything quiet. We didn't want any leaks. We didn't want anything in the media about numbers, years, because we wanted to be fair to everybody, and we wanted to go back at the end and say, here's what we have. We're not using you guys against each other. This is what we have. What do you guys got? And the Cubs' first offer got leaked, and he called 2 days later and upped the offer without us even asking to do anything, a counter offer, nothing, as kind of a show of good faith. Like, hey, this doesn't go, you know, this isn't acceptable here. So we're making changes in our department internally now. And here, this is kind of the next, like, hey, peace offering. It won't be, you know, nothing else will be leaked. And to me, that's Theo being Theo. And a lot of people don't see what he does behind the scenes, and what he did with Jason Hamill this year. You know, being up front with him, telling him what was going on. Probably better off, you know, at that time becoming a free agent than us sticking you in the bullpen and you kind of rotting down there. But just Theo's always up front, and I knew that. And perfect storm, you know, the championship drought, all this stuff. I just had to kind of believe that it was going to happen.
And happen it did. The Cubs marched their way back from a 3-1 deficit in the World Series to force a Game 7. With an all-hands-on-deck mentality, John Lester was available but out of the bullpen, where he hadn't pitched in nearly a decade. The plan was to bring him in for a clean inning. You know what they say about the best laid plans.
I think everything in baseball, when you have meetings and you have a plan, you know, a so-called plan, it's obviously taken with a grain of salt. I always take stuff like that with a grain of salt. Obviously, a lot of the planning that I've been involved with, I've never actually been thrown into before, just because we never had to. You know, in Boston in 2013, we had some plans in there where if we did get to a Game 7, or if, you know, something happened in Game 6, I was going to go to the bullpen. But that never happened, so we never had to get to that point. So we get to Game 7 and we go over, you know, kind of the best case scenario. Hey, if kind of the fan, we're going to bring in a reliever to get out of the inning, and you're going to get the next inning, clean inning, no problem. You know, obviously things change. The score, the inning, the outs, the hitter, all dictate what they're going to do. And that's the uncomfortable feeling down there, because you get told one thing, you know, even 5 pitches before, and even 5 pitches before that, and even 5 pitches after that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's always constantly changing. Their minds down there are running, because they don't know either. They like to think they have a plan and everything. Everybody does. We have a plan. We have scouting reports. We want to do this, and then it's kind of the unknown. Do we bring this guy in who's never done this before, and what if it doesn't work? You know, like, still it's always churning. So yeah, we had a game plan. It was supposed to be, you know, it was supposed to come in whatever, the 4th or 5th inning, and start an inning and just go and see how far we could go. But like I said, score, inning, batter, how good Kyle was pitching. All of a sudden we score, I think, 4 in the inning before. Changes everything. And when you're in the heat of the battle, it's frustrating, but to step back, you know, at the end of the game, it's fine. Everything's fine. You sit back and you go, okay, it not necessarily because it worked out, but it's one of those, you know, you see it. You understand now, because your testosterone has gone down, and well, what are they doing? Mode has gone down. So it's more of, you look at it with a grain of salt and go, okay, I understand the matchups and what they were trying to do.
Get into the pole position for savings during the Roarman 500 tent sales event. Intense savings are at Arlington Nissan as we race to sell 500 new Nissans.
Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue for just $135 a month with $39.95 due at signing.
Bob Roarman. Bob Roarman's Arlington Nissan, just east of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
The legends of tennis are coming to Chicago with the Power Share Series. John McEnroe, Andy Roddick, Jim Courier, and Mark Philippoussis compete in a unique one-night tournament. May 17th at UIC Pavilion. Timeless tennis mastery on full display with a twist. On the Power Share Series, these legends call their own lines. Nothing serious! For tickets and VIP packages, go to PowershareSeries.com or Ticketmaster.com and be part of the excitement May 17th at UIC Pavilion.
Welcome back to Inside Look, presented by Cadillac. I'm David Kaplan. No catcher caught Cubs pitcher John Lester more throughout his career than now former teammate David Ross. The tight friend shared a moment before Game 5 of the World Series, Ross's last game at Wrigley, causing the fan favorite to tear up. But entering in the middle of the game with a runner on in Game 7, the scenario was different. The routine, similar. Keep it loose, and let's get to business.
I went up to him doing the normal routine. I wanted to keep everything normal, and then I would just say something to him when I was done. And I went to go. I was like, all right, you want to do this with guys on second base? And he's like, I love you, man. I was like, I love you too. I was like, let's have some fun. He's like, yeah, let's have some fun. I'm like, all right. So what do you want to do with the guy on second base? It kind of like broke the ice, and then kind of got back into our routine. And, that meant a lot to me, because just with everything we'd kind of been through the last couple of years, and even the years before in Boston. And I know people don't believe me, but, I wanted him to come over here to just be a catcher, not to be my catcher. And I was fortunate enough to get to throw to him a lot. And, I didn't realize this until the season was over, but I actually threw to him more than I threw to Veritek. So I always thought Tech was, kind of the guy I would have thrown to the most in my career, just based on the years and all that. But Rossi ends up being the guy, and that's really special to me, just like I said, just with everything. And so that was pretty cool. But no, nothing Game 7. I think I told him down in the bullpen, I think it was one of the times I ended up, I'd finished my routine, I sat back down, and I can't remember which time it was, but I was like, man, just go. Get down there, get in the game, talk to Borzy, get your head right. You've caught me enough. We'll figure this thing out. And he's like, all right. And I think he went around the back way, or ended up going or something in between the 4th inning and 5th inning, something like that, and got out of there. And that was all that was really, really said.
So you come in and you have Kipnis has the swinging bunt where Rossi throws it away. I mean, it was a bang play. Mm-hmm. And then, the 58-footer, if you throw it 100 times, I'm not sure it bounces off, it ricochets straight up off of his mask, maybe but once.
Yeah.
And of course it happens that one time right when you two come in the game and goes 50 feet to the right. After that happens and the 2 runs score uncharacteristically, like, is there a kind of like a, I mean, what's going through your head at that point? Because the crowd now is alive, and they were pretty dead for a couple innings.
That was the frustrating part for me, is we had taken them out, and we had allowed them back in, and the air kind of allowed them back in a little bit, but it's still 2 outs. I think we were 0-1 or maybe 1-1 in the count, and second and third with 2 outs with Lindor up, and my thought process with it is like, okay, I need to make quality pitches to this guy, because he can obviously go deep. So trying to stay away from a 3-run homer, and then really just trying to stay away from damage. So if I give up a single, they still only have a chance of scoring 1 guy. And I got first and third with 2 outs still with Napoli up. I think Nap's up after him, was up after him. So I'd still like my chances there. So just kind of like the thought process going on. So we get to 1-1, and curveball was a good pitch to him down, and we needed to be down. And it couldn't be first strike, couldn't be up, couldn't be anything. So it had to be down. So that was just I'm not going to miss up. I got to miss down. And sure enough, I throw it 58 feet. And like you said, it takes a weird bounce off his mask and kind of doesn't hit his mask square, but it does, and somehow goes, the opposite direction. So just one of those deals, man. It's like it's one of those hard baseball things to understand, because you have the right thought process and Rossi's in the right position and you do everything right and it goes wrong. And 2-run score, and we let him back in, and now it's okay. Now I got to get this guy out. If this guy gets on, now they're really back into it. You got the tying run at the plate now with the guy that can hit a homer to all fields. So we ended up, I think we got to 3-2 and punched him out on a cutter down and in, and got a little bit momentum back on our side. I think the next inning Rossi hits a homer off of Miller and gets us, kind of right back to where we were. And
did that do anything? It's probably different because you were in the game rather than watching the game at that point. But to know that Rossi and his final game hits a home run off of Andrew Miller.
At the time, no, that didn't. That wasn't going through my head. I was kind of more or less kind of thinking selfish more than him being his last game. It was more like, okay, we got one back. All right, cool. We're playing for the tie now. You know what I mean? Like, we gave up 2, we got 1. Let's see if we can get one more. And now there's no blood. Now we're back to even. So that was kind of my thinking. Obviously, when the game ended and you look back and you're like, holy smokes, he just, he took the greatest relief pitcher, in the last however many years, deep to dead center. And then you can kind of sit back and go, wow, that was pretty cool. But right when it happened, it was kind of more of the, all right, we got one back. All right, that's what we need. We got a little momentum back on our side. Now let's go kind of get back out there and get after it again.
You only allow 2 hits after the first little hiccup there when you first come in. Go 3 innings, 55 pitches. When did you feel like you were grooving there pretty good early on, or just? No,
it's different. It's just so different coming out of the pen and being on short rest and all that stuff. It doesn't. It's just a feeling you're just not used to. If that's something that I had done in the past and years past and could kind of recall, okay, this is how I'm going to feel. This is how my stuff's going to play or anything. I was just surprised my stuff played as well as it did. I didn't feel the best. Like I said, Game 7, long year, a lot of travel. I think everybody's worn down at that time, and you just kind of try to figure out a way to get through it. And that's where Rossi's so good is he comes out there and he's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right." And he's like, "Well, your stuff's good. Your stuff's good. Like just trust your stuff. It's good right now. It's coming out good. Your fastball's good. You got good command. Let's go." It's like, okay. And so once you. And it's not a matter of him lying to you because it's not a lie, but it's one of those deals. It's just you're doubting yourself just that little bit where, like, man, do I really is my stuff okay? Because I don't feel great. And if it's not great, then I got to go off some other, I got to start doing some other things. And that's just where that reassurance is helpful. It's just like, okay, my fastball is good. You see swings, but you don't really believe in them until somebody tells, kind of one of those deals. So it was nice to have that veteran to come out and go, hey, you're good, let's go. Let's keep working where we're at. And then it's just more, then you just start building off of that.
What's the first thing to go through your mind knowing once the ball hits Anthony's glove that you've won the World Series with the Chicago Cubs?
Just that we did it. I mean, that's really it. Is you have so much time and so much energy and nerves and waves of up and down and just countless hours spent learning baseball and being with these guys. And, you have one goal. And if you had asked Anthony Rizzo 3 years ago, hey, in 2016, you guys won the World Series, he probably would have laughed at you and be like, okay, yeah, sure. Travis Wood, Arrieta, Stropey, Rondon, like all these guys that have been through not only one 100-loss season, but multiple 100-loss seasons with that organization. And, it's just, I go back to flying up to Chicago in, when was it, November of 2015 or 14, and listening to the sales pitch from Theo and Jed and Tom and all these guys, and just asking for me to believe in them and to believe in the process that they've put forth, and all these guys they've spent so much time drafting and developing and all this stuff, and that for me was kind of all in one. You know, it was like, okay, they didn't lie, for one, which they, you know, I knew that from when they told me everything. But, you know, when you sign and it's like, okay, are we going to do this? You know, is this really, am I going to be able to help this end? And there's still that doubt. There's still that doubt of, you know, I don't know if we'll be able to do it. You know, I'm hoping, you know, I'm here to win. Like, let's go, you know, and see what happens. And then all of a sudden, boom, the first year, that's mine. The first year where we look up and we're in the NLCS, you know, and I know Theo didn't expect that. And to be there and kind of go, okay, kids, we've come a long way, you know, and you don't get there without Jake's year. You don't get there without KB's year. And, you know, and I hate to point out injuries, but, you know, Mike Olt goes down when he goes down in April. KB doesn't get called up when he gets called up. So do we even make the postseason? You know, if they keep him down as long as they were going to keep him down. So a lot of things, and all this stuff goes through my head, you know, and while you're out there celebrating. And then it's more or less, okay, I need to go get my hands on guys that meant the most to me on this team. You know, Borzies, the Rizzos, the KBs, the Rossies, the Lacks, Woody, you know, guys like that you develop, you have that relationship that's different than just baseball. You know, all these guys are my brothers, but there's a different kind of set of brothers that you have, that these guys are the guys that you hang out with when you're done playing, and you have that special bond with, and you'll have that forever. So then you celebrate, and then it's kind of just surreal. It's all kind of a buzz and a cloud. And I heard Tom say something, they were releasing, I think, the DVD, and he's like, I got to watch the DVD, and I sat through it, and I was like, gosh, I don't remember that, and I don't remember that. And I watched the DVD, and the same thing. You just don't recall everything, and to do that and be a part of it was pretty cool.
Why was winning in Chicago maybe, I don't want to say more important, why was it different than winning anywhere else?
Well, I think just for selfish reasons, I didn't get to be a part of 04. That's really what it came down to for me, is I was a part of that organization. You know, I'd only been there for, it was 2 years, 3 years counting the draft, but 2 full seasons of baseball. But you're just entrenched in Red Sox history. You're entrenched in, you know, you can probably ask Chris Bryant and Schwarber, Almora, Javi, Kyle. I know Kyle was traded for. But guys that they draft, they get called up to the big leagues. It's different for them than, say, me. Way different, I feel like, because when I got there in 07, it was different for me than the guys that were brought in. But that was really it. It was you're so entrenched in that, and you feel like you're a part of it. Even though you're an A-ball, you're just a lonely little A-baller sitting down here going, man, that's awesome, guys, congratulations. You have nothing to show for it. You're just a part of the organization. So for me, selfishly, it was like I want to be a part. I missed out. I want to be a part of it. And listening to Millars and Dave Roberts and Tex and all those guys talk about how special it was to do that. It just, you know, I was fortunate enough that Chicago wanted me. You know, that was kind of what it came down to. And it's kind of a perfect storm, you know, with Theo and all those guys, guy that actually has done it. And, you know, he talked about it in that meeting and got me going on it. And just was one of those things, man. I just wanted to do it. I wanted to help. I wanted to be a part of that. And you talk about history, you know. I mean, like I told Rizzo one time, I forgot what series it was. It might have been Dodgers, and he's pressing, and, you know, it's probably game 3 or 4, 2, 3 or 4, one of those, when we had the worst offensive team in baseball, supposedly. And, you know, you could tell he's pressing. Like, he wants to do this so bad. And I just pulled him aside, man. I said, listen, dude, you don't have to drive in every single run in the postseason. said, all it takes is one swing to be a hero. One swing. Second and third, down one, boom, base hit. I don't need a homer. I need an Anthony Rizzo at bat. I need a base hit. And you could see kind of the wheels turn. I'm like, Dave Roberts, and I always go back to this, and I'm sure Dave hates me, because I'm sure every time I do an interview about this, I say the same thing. But he stole one base for that team. One base. But it was the most important base in the history of the Red Sox. So, you see what I'm saying? So Rizzo swings about one time. It could be the most important swing in the history of the Cubs. So that's what, for me, it's like, man, that's cool. Like, it gives me goosebumps now. And no matter what, you're in history. Like, if I didn't throw a pitch, if I didn't throw a pitch, you're part of history. You're one of, I don't know how many guys will get a ring, but let's say 30 guys, 40 guys to get a ring on that team. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that to me is the coolest part, is to be a part of it. Go down the history books. No matter, like I said, if you threw a pitch, if you didn't throw a pitch, if you didn't get in that bat, you didn't steal a base, you didn't do anything, but sit there and pat your guys on the butt and cheer, you're part of history. So that's how I looked at it, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be a part of history. I wanted to be a part of that curse-breaking team that I didn't get to be a part of before.
Inside Look is presented to you by Cadillac. See your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Cadillac dealer for our attractive offers today.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car or you can build a Cadillac.
Join us for Spring's Best. Get this low mileage lease on this Cadillac XT5 from around $369 per month, or purchase with 0% financing.
Anything that can happen will happen. Anything that can happen did happen.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
John Lester.
Go back 10 years. You beat cancer. You've now won 2 with the Boston Red Sox. You come here, you win 1 with the Cubs. All the stuff you've done for Never Quit and pediatric cancer, you didn't know. There's a lot more questions. Could you envision this sitting here right now talking about this kind of stuff and everything you've done?
No. Obviously there's hopes and dreams. We're all human and kids at one time, and all wanted to be, the next whatever. For me, growing up in Seattle was the next Griffey. I wanted to be, the center fielder and robbing homers and hitting homers. So to be here, like you said, 11 years, I still can't believe I've played in the big leagues for 10 years. That for me, even all the other stuff aside, just the fact I've gotten to 10 years, you get called up and you're like, man, these guys, like, 1, they're old, and 2, God, they got 10, 11 years in the big leagues. This is awesome. I remember 3 years ago, playing with Demper in Boston. He had 16 years, so I had 8 years at the time. Oh, God, he's got 16 years. That's crazy, man. Like, that's awesome. You're always, until you're that guy that retires, you're always looking up at, wow, man, this is awesome, David Ortiz and what these guys have done. But no, I've been very, very fortunate along the way, and it started early with meeting a lot of really good people and on unfortunate circumstances that have kind of helped me shape things and get to the Never Quit and become a better baseball player and all that, better teammate, a better study of the game. There's a lot of different things throughout the years that I've been fortunate to meet and be a part of, and guys that I look back that I got to play with at an early age that I didn't appreciate what they had to offer for me. Just being young and naive and stupid, thinking you had everything figured out. And you get older and stuff declines, and you got to figure out a scouting report and figure out how to use information. And that's where I wish I would have picked, Tech's brain a little bit more and understood what he was meaning by saying things and stuff like that. So no, I mean, it's been an awesome ride. I mean, it really has. I'm looking forward to this second half of this contract and kind of seeing where, the second half of my career takes me. And, hopefully there's a couple more championships involved. But for me, it's about those guys. It's about those brothers we talked about and playing with those guys. And the cool part about this team is this group will be together for pretty much the time that I'm here. So that's exciting and something I look forward to.
Thank you for watching this edition of Inside Look presented by Cadillac. Special thanks to John Lester. I'm David Kaplan. We will see you next time.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car or you can build a Cadillac.
Join us for Spring's Best. Get this low mileage lease on this Cadillac XT5 from around $369 per month, or purchase with 0% financing.
I don't care who remembers me. Doesn't mean anything. You win, you go out on your own terms. You lose, they push you out. You may be too old to fight, but I'm never too old to be a legend.
A home is where life is lived. The unmistakable beauty and performance of Unilock pavers and walls enrich the quality of outdoor living, where perfect settings and cherished moments become memories that last a lifetime. Live life beautifully with Unilock.
I'm only here for a blue dress. Blue dress, blue dress. Blue dress, blue dress, blue dress. Blue dress.
Sometimes it's hard to leave Goodwill with just one thing.
Ah, blue dress.
But it's okay. With your Club Goodwill Rewards card, you can earn points with every purchase for even more savings.
You always amaze me.
We now join the following program already in progress.
We worked hard to get this game going here. This is Timothy. You are from where?
From Schaumburg.
You are from Schaumburg.
Yes,
you look like a Palatine guy, you're not?
I just moved in the area, what can I say?
Okay, all right.
Glad it's fitting me well.
We're gonna play six-pack. I'm gonna first put the $60 down on the table.
Okay.
I have 6 photographs. You're able to pass on any photograph that you want once. You have 1 pass out of the 6 photographs.
Okay.
You get whatever one you get right, you get $10. You get anybody wrong, I take them back. You can stop at any time. Does that make sense?
Let's do it.
All right, first photograph. You're playing Cubs. All right, let's see if I can get this all together. This should be easy. Who is that?
That's the defending MVP, Chris Bryant.
$10. All right. Now, do you want to keep rolling?
I want to keep going.
Timothy from Schaumburg wants to keep rolling. All right, your second photograph. This should also be easy. Who is that?
Let's play 2, Ernie Banks.
Yeah, all right, $20. So now, you still have a pass if you want.
Okay.
Do you want to keep going?
What do you say, boys? Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep going.
All right, keep going. All right. All right. Who is this former Cub? Who is that former Cub? They called him the Red Baron.
I'm gonna say Rick Sutcliffe.
Boom, you're right again, All right. You're up to $30. Now, do you want to stop or do you want to keep going?
Let's keep going.
Oh, wow. All right. Who is this? Former Cub.
You got it. Starlin Castro.
Wow, all right. So you're at 40. Do you want to stop? Do you want to pass or do you want to keep going?
Let's keep it going.
Keep it going. All right.
Let's keep it going.
We're going back in time a little bit. Who is this? No longer with us. Rest in peace. Who is that?
Tommy Lasorda?
No. His first name starts with...
Tommy Lasorda was never with the
I know. I'm thinking,
what are you going to give me next? Babe Ruth?
Chicagoland area, help me out.
His first name is Don.
That's an old Don Mattingly. No, it's a...
Your buddies are looking over at you over there right now, and they're disgusted.
I have no idea.
That's my brother. I'm going to get... Yeah. I know.
That's even worse.
All right, that is Don.
That is Don.
And that's Don. It's Don, guys.
It's Don. That's Don.
It's Don. Are you in any relation to him?
No.
Stuckmeyer? No.
It is not Don Stuckmeyer.
Okay. It's Don.
Yeah.
No, this is my. It's 4-3. This is my great uncle. This is Don Olson.
Don Olson is incorrect. It's Don Zimmer. Don Zimmer. Zim.
I couldn't get a Pedro. I needed a Pedro Martinez.
Pedro Martinez grabbed him by the head and he rolled him
down.
Ah, you had
guys,
it.
Thanks for coming out to Palatine.
As Hawk Harrelson says, this ball game is over. Well, we had a great time here in downtown Palatine. A huge thank you to the folks at JL's Pizza and Sports Bar right here on Bothwell Street.
Tons of fun here in Palatine. And of course, for all of you who want to come out to our next stop, check out our Twitter account at CSN Beer Money and follow us at csnchicago.com for all the information. It was a blast out here today with you, Luke, once again.
Yes. See you next time
on Beer Money.
At Coors, our mountain is creating a more sustainable world. It's why we pioneered the recyclable can, made our breweries landfill-free, and built the most powerful solar array at any one brewery in the country. But our climb is far from over, so we keep pushing forward. Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on.
The legends of tennis are coming to Chicago with the Power Share Series. John McEnroe, Andy Roddick, Jim Courier, and Mark Philippoussis compete in a unique one-night tournament. May 17th at UIC Pavilion. Timeless tennis mastery on full display. With a twist. On the Power Share Series, these legends call their own lines. For tickets and VIP packages, go to PowerShareSeries.com or Ticketmaster.com and be part of the excitement May 17th at UIC Pavilion.
Now batting for the White Sox, center fielder number 34, Michael Bennett.
At point guard for the Chicago Bulls, number 6, Shannon Kelly.
At the Bulls Sox Academy, we give each kid one mission. Dream it, train it, be it.
Relay for Life.
Because there's so much to live for. Help the American Cancer Society finish the fight. Walk, join, donate now to save lives at relay.org.
Anything that can happen will happen. Anything that can happen did happen.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
I'm Jason Hayward, and you're watching CSN, the home of your Chicago Cubs.
Hey, man, we know that at some point we're going to get hot.
The best hitter in baseball. Hello, Kyle Schwarber. Way out of here.
Kyle Schwarber breaks out of his slump to kick off a 10-game homestand at Wrigley Field. Welcome into Fast Break. I'm Sierra Santos. The Cubs front office isn't alarmed by the team's slow start, while the White Sox struggle again in Anaheim. Plus, after a controversial Game 1, could the Spurs bounce back against the Warriors without Kawhi Leonard? Let's run the break. Last season, the Cubs got off to a flying start and rode it all the way to a World Series title. This season, not so much. Entering Tuesday night's game, the Cubs had 9 less wins than they did through 37 games last season, as their hitting and pitching have been plagued by inconsistencies. But the front office isn't worried just yet. Kelly Kroll has more in our Miller Lite game report.
The Cubs' title defense has a number of fans pressing the panic button as they returned home in mid-May under 500. But that stress wasn't showing on the faces of Theo Epstein or Jed Hoyer before Tuesday's game. Epstein has built 3 World Series winners based on analytics, and the 6-week sample size means the front office won't be making any rash decisions.
When it's really time to worry early is when there's infighting and when, for whatever reason, there's some doubt about whether guys are going to face the adversity the right way and work hard to make adjustments and overcome it and stay together. As long if you have the talent and if you have guys who care and are willing to work hard and support each other and fight through the adversity, then I think it puts you in a position to be patient.
We've definitely played below expectations. We've struggled. But if you look at it, we have so many players who have so much upside, before they get to their projections. It's sort of a matter of time until we get hot.
Ultimately, you are, how you play over the course of a season, but you also have to look at the amount of talent on a club and whether you trust their makeup and whether they care and whether you think we're going to reach our level because we're going to work really hard to make adjustments and overcome whatever adversity is presented us. I think we will. So all this is so far is just a period when we haven't played anywhere near up to our capabilities, and so we're presented with some adversity, and we get the chance now to make adjustments and overcome that. In the long run, it's gonna be good for us.
Covering the World Series champion Cubs, I'm Kelly Kroll for CSN.
John Lackey on the bump for the Cubs against the Reds, coming off his best start of the season. Things don't start well, however. Zach Cozart takes him deep to left for a solo homer in the first. It's 1-0 Reds. But the Cubs respond. Jamer Candelario singles to right to drive in Chris Bryant. Cubs tie the game at 1. Then 2 batters later, with the bases loaded, Wilson Contreras delivers with a ground rule double to center. Rizzo and Happ score. The Cubs take a 3-1 lead. Top of the second, the ball is jumping. Tucker Barnhart homers to deep center off Lackey. It's a 3-2 ball game. But then the Cubs break out the big bats, starting with the slumping Kyle Schwarber.
Hello, Kyle Schwarber. Way out of here. That's deep left field, and it is gone. Second home run for Ian Happ.
His first at Wrigley. Pretty well hit. Deep right center. Gone! A basket shot for Russell. Smacked out into right. Gone!
The Cubs club 4 homers. Schwarber, Happ, Russell, and Rizzo. Joe Madden earns his 1,000th win as a Major League manager. 9-5 the final. The Cubs get back to 500 and Joe Madden gets his 1,000th career win. He is one of 8 active managers to reach that feat. After the game, Madden reflected on his career and started his post-game press conference as only Joe Madden can.
Cheers. So I've seen a lot of different methods. I've been taught well, and I really want to say, it's 1,000 wins. Other guys have done it, but to the players that have been a part of this, I want to say thank you, because you don't do this without really good players. You don't, and to the coaches. Got a great staff here once again, and just for the opportunity. It's all about opportunity also. There's a lot of players out there with opportunity. We'll show you that they're really good Major League players. I got a chance to manage late, primarily because I never played in the big leagues. I think that was the biggest drawback. Having never played one at bat, I thought 10 years as a Major League coach at some point had to equal 1 at bat in the big leagues. And that was my personal equation, that I thought eventually if I spent 10 years as a coach, somebody may give me the opportunity.
Ricky Renteria's squad in LA for game 2 of their 3-game series. Bottom 3 with 2 on. Albert Pujols with a shot down the third baseline off Derek Holland. 2 runs come home, and just like that, Sox down a pair. Bottom 4th. This time it's Cameron Maybin doing the damage. RBI single to right, his 3rd hit on the night. He came hitting just 180 on the season. Top 6, a man on for Yomer Sanchez, and that ball hit deep. A 2-run big fly to right. 2nd home run of the season for the artist formerly known as Carlos. It's 3-2. Bottom 7, Dan Jennings. In the game with the bases loaded, he gives the free pass to Luis Valbuena. That forces a run to home to make it 4-2. And pitching coach Don Cooper doesn't seem too thrilled with the call. He's tossed. Doesn't seem to understand why. Renteria makes his case, but does not get thrown out. So 5-3 in the 9th, 2 on for Todd Frazier. He hits a slow dribbler. Gets through the infield. Jose Abreu scores, as does Avi Garcia in a close play at the plate. And it is tied in the 9th. Miguel Gonzalez is on the mound as the Sox close out their series with the Angels tonight on CSN. Coverage begins at 8:30 with Chuck and Bill on White Sox pregame live. Then Hawk and Stoney have the call at 9 from Anaheim. Kawhi Leonard's injury changed everything in Game 1 and sent Greg Popovich off on a rant for the ages. Could the Spurs actually compete with the Warriors minus Kawhi? The Predators have 2 goals disallowed in the 3rd period of Game 3 against the Ducks, while Titans QB Marcus Mariota and his linemen had a really good time.
The Grand Slam. Bring everyone home in a 2017 Lexus NX Turbo. Just $429 a month. Hit your Grand Slam at McGrath Lexus of Westmont. When you do the math, you'll choose McGrath. McGrath Lexus of Westmont.
2 dedicated hero cops. Vince, Abel. 1 life-saving mission. Out to prove no one is. They're keeping the streets safe and their conscience clean. Cracking down on unbuckled drivers and passengers, even in the back seat. Click it or ticket. No one is.
The perfect game. You can't lose with a 2017 Lexus ES350 for just $469 a month. Your perfect game is at McGrath Lexus of Westmont. When you do the math, you'll choose McGrath. McGrath Lexus of Westmont. Go inside the lives of Chicago's biggest sports stars, only on Inside Look, presented by Cadillac. Your questions answered.
And it got this big because basketball got this big.
Idols revisited.
They bring the atmosphere and the energy that you need throughout the grind of the season.
And the stories behind the headlines revealed.
It's a special journey and it's a great story.
Catch a new interview every month with Inside Look on CSN. Visit csnchicago.com for listings.
Fresh off a 4-1 win over the defending champion Seattle Sounders, the Fire are back on the pitch tonight as they host the Colorado Rapids. You can see the game on CSN+. Coverage begins at 7 with Fire pregame live. Titans QB Marcus Mariota and his offensive linemen enjoying themselves at Game 3 between the Predators and the Ducks. Series tied at 1. Anaheim led 1-0 going into the third. Nashville had not one but 2 goals disallowed. Now tied at 1. Under 3 minutes to play. Preds on the power play. Roman Josi nets the game winner. Nashville beats Anaheim 2-1 to take a 2-1 series lead.
The second pick will be made by the Los Angeles Lakers. And that means that the number 1 pick in the 2000 NBA draft goes to the Boston Celtics.
Not a bad 24 hours for Celtics fans. They beat the Wizards to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then they land the number 1 overall pick at the NBA draft lottery. Magic Johnson will pick 2nd overall in his first draft as Lakers president. The team would have lost their pick to Philadelphia if it fell outside the top 3. Philly moves into the top 3 thanks to a pick swap with the Kings. And that Sacramento first-round pick that was acquired in the Luol Deng trade 3 years ago will not go to the Bulls because it fell in the top 10. The Bulls get the Kings' 2nd-round pick. If you are the coach of an NBA team, even if it's only temporary, you better have a pretty good excuse to show up late to Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. In the case of interim head coach Mike Brown, there was a mishap outside of Oracle Arena. He told the media how it all went down.
A cop out of nowhere pulls in front of me and goes, "Hey, you! Stop!" I'm like, "Warriors acting coach?" He's like, "I don't care! Hey, you, stop!" An SUV pulls up, beating. And I hear him over their speaker. "Hey, you, in the Range Rover, stop!" And I'm going around behind the bus, and I get this phone call. Greg Popovich. So I answer the phone, and Papa's dying. He goes, "Mikey, I didn't know that was you." He goes, "I'm sitting here, I see this black Range Rover, I see all these cops surrounding him, I see the car trying to inch forward. I'm like, he's about to get arrested." I said, "Pop," I said, "this is my own building." He goes, "I know, when I saw it was you, I died laughing."
Come on, a little facial recognition? No? All right. Steph Curry and the Warriors looking to go up 2 games against the Spurs, and everything went their way early. Second quarter, Warriors already up 27. Steph Curry, he's a 3 after some contact, hits a bounce. The foul, Warriors up 31 after the free throw. Third quarter, Spurs cut the lead to 20, but Curry was just too much to handle. He breaks Dwayne Dedmon's ankles en route to another and one. Curry finished with 29. The only negative for Golden State was Zaza Pachulia going down with an ankle injury in the third quarter. Maybe bad karma after his controversial play with Kawhi Leonard. Warriors roll 136-100, go up 2-0 on San Antonio. And our CSN Bears insider John Moon Mullins spoke with 2 AFC scouts who revealed to Moon that they had the highest grade on Trubisky that they had had on any quarterback over the past 6 years. Read it right now on csnchicago.com. Thanks for joining us for CSN Fast Break. For all your sports news 24/7, stay logged on to csnchicago.com.
The legends of tennis are coming to Chicago with the Power Share Series. John McEnroe, Andy Roddick, Jim Courier, and Mark Philippoussis compete in a unique one-night tournament. May 17th at UIC Pavilion. Timeless tennis mastery on full display with a twist. On the Power Share Series, these legends call their own lines. For tickets and VIP packages, go to powershareseries.com or ticketmaster.com and be part of the excitement May 17th at UIC Pavilion.
My 5 hour is my motivation.
My 5 hour keeps me cooking.
My 5 hour energizes my workout.
My 5 hour keeps me on the trail.
My 5 hour gets me through finals.
My 5 hour helps me keep up with these guys.
What's your 5 hour?
What's your 5 hour?
What's your 5 hour?
I expect our players to play the game with energy, focus, and pride. Pride to me is commitment to the team. Pride is a commitment to the White Sox. I want my players to go out there and give them your heart. I want them to wear their hearts on their sleeve. I want them to be fearless, but not reckless. I want them to go out there, know what they're doing, and push the envelope. I want them to let everybody know that we're never giving in.
I'm John Jay, and you're watching CSN, the home of your Chicago Cubs.
We know that at some point we're going to get hot.
The best hitter in baseball. Hello, Kyle Schwarber. Way out of here.
Kyle Schwarber breaks out of his slump to kick off a 10-game homestand at Wrigley Field. Welcome into Fast Break. I'm Sierra Santos. The Cubs front office isn't alarmed by the team's slow start, while the White Sox struggle again in Anaheim. Plus, after a controversial Game 1, could the Spurs bounce back against the Warriors without Kawhi Leonard? Let's run the break. Last season, the Cubs got off to a flying start and rode it all the way to a World Series title. This season, not so much. Entering Tuesday night's game, the Cubs had 9 less wins than they did through 37 games last season, as their hitting and pitching have been plagued by inconsistencies. But the front office isn't worried just yet. Kelly Kroll has more in our Miller Lite game report.
The Cubs' title defense has a number of fans pressing the panic button as they returned home in mid-May under 500. But that stress wasn't showing on the faces of Theo Epstein or Jed Hoyer before Tuesday's game. Epstein has built 3 World Series winners based on analytics, and the 6-week sample size means the front office won't be making any rash decisions.
When it's really time to worry early is when there's infighting and when, for whatever reason, there's some doubt about whether guys are going to face the adversity the right way and work hard to make adjustments and overcome it and stay together. If you have the talent and if you have guys who care and are willing to work hard and support each other and fight through the adversity, then I think it puts you in a position to be patient.
We've definitely played below expectations. We've struggled. But if you look at it, we have so many players who have so much upside, before they get to their projections. It's sort of a matter of time until we get hot.
Ultimately, you are, how you play over the course of a season, but you also have to look at the amount of talent on a club and whether you trust their makeup and whether they care and whether you think we're going to reach our level because we're going to work really hard to make adjustments and overcome whatever adversity is presented us. I think we will. So all this is so far is just a period when we haven't played anywhere near up to our capabilities, and so we're presented with some adversity, and we get the chance now to make adjustments and overcome that. In the long run, it's gonna be good for us.
Covering the World Series champion Cubs, I'm Kelly Kroll for CSN.
John Lackey on the bump for the Cubs against the Reds, coming off his best start of the season. Things don't start well, however. Zach Cozart takes him deep to left for a solo homer in the first. It's 1-0 Reds. But the Cubs respond. Jamer Candelario singles to right to drive in Chris Bryant. Cubs tie the game at 1. Then 2 batters later, with the bases loaded, Wilson Contreras delivers with a ground rule double to center. Rizzo and Happ score. The Cubs take a 3-1 lead. Top of the second, the ball is jumping. Tucker Barnhart homers to deep center off Lackey. It's a 3-2 ball game. But then the Cubs break out the big bats, starting with the slumping Kyle Schwarber.
Hello, Kyle Schwarber. Way out of here. That's deep left field, and it is gone. Second home run for Ian Happ, his first at Wrigley. Pretty well hit. Deep right center. Gone! A basket shot for Russell. Smacked out into right. Gone!
The Cubs club 4 homers. Schwarber, Happ, Russell, and Rizzo. Joe Madden earns his 1,000th win as a Major League manager. 9-5 the final. The Cubs get back to 500 and Joe Madden gets his 1,000th career win. He is one of 8 active managers to reach that feat. After the game, Madden reflected on his career and started his post-game press conference as only Joe Madden can.
Cheers. So I've seen a lot of different methods. I've been taught well, and I really want to say, it's 1,000 wins. Other guys have done it, but to the players that have been a part of this, I want to say thank you, because you don't do this without really good players. You don't, and to the coaches. Got a great staff here once again, and just for the opportunity. It's all about opportunity also. There's a lot of players out there with opportunity. We'll show you that they're really good Major League players. I got a chance to manage late, primarily because I never played in the big leagues. I think that was the biggest drawback. Having never played one at bat, I thought 10 years as a Major League coach at some point had to equal 1 at bat in the big leagues. And that was my personal equation, that I thought eventually if I spent 10 years as a coach, somebody may give me the opportunity.
Ricky Renteria's squad in LA for game 2 of their 3-game series. Bottom 3 with 2 on. Albert Pujols with a shot down the third baseline off Derek Holland. 2 runs come home, and just like that, Sox down a pair. Bottom 4th. This time it's Cameron Maybin doing the damage. RBI single to right, his 3rd hit on the night. He came hitting just 180 on the season. Top 6, a man on for Yomer Sanchez, and that ball hit deep. A 2-run big fly to right. 2nd home run of the season for the artist formerly known as Carlos. It's 3-2. Bottom 7, Dan Jennings. In the game with the bases loaded, he gives the free pass to Luis Valbuena. That forces a run to home to make it 4-2. And pitching coach Don Cooper doesn't seem too thrilled with the call. He's tossed. Doesn't seem to understand why. Renteria makes his case, but does not get thrown out. So 5-3 in the 9th, 2 on for Todd Frazier. He hits a slow dribbler. Gets through the infield. Jose Abreu scores, as does Avi Garcia in a close play at the plate. And it is tied in the 9th. Miguel Gonzalez is on the mound as the Sox close out their series with the Angels tonight on CSN. Coverage begins at 8:30 with Chuck and Bill on White Sox pregame live. Then Hawk and Stoney have the call at 9 from Anaheim. Kawhi Leonard's injury changed everything in Game 1 and sent Greg Popovich off on a rant for the ages. Could the Spurs actually compete with the Warriors minus Kawhi? The Predators have 2 goals disallowed in the 3rd period of Game 3 against the Ducks, while Titans QB Marcus Mariota and his linemen had a really good time.